Well, here's a surprise that I actually did not expect to get or to see in my neck of the woods. It's Kingdom Road Rage. This, of course, in the United States is a Target exclusive. I presume in Canada it will be a Toys R Us exclusive because that's kind of usually what happens. But I feel like I heard from the grapevine that the Toys R Us here will not be getting any of these. None of them. So I really didn't think I was going to get it. So a huge shout out to our buddy Ultra Megatronus for hooking me up with this. Did not expect it. We're going to see how it pans out when we look at Road Rage in the latest GotBot True review. Oh, excuse me, I was admiring the box. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. And hit the notification bell. It helps me out a ton and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All that in the description down below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we offer to you through Teespring, or of course hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And this is the box for Road Rage. Interesting character. I mean, I don't know jack about this character. I found out since that apparently she has a temper. Apparently she goes a little crazy when she's in her vehicle mode. She is the bodyguard of Crosscut. I don't really know much about Crosscut. I feel like a lot of this came from the comics or something and maybe got retconned or some such thing. I don't know. Here's the thing. I like the Kingdom Tracks mold. And I looked at it here and I scored it kind of well because I do enjoy it. How well is she going to fare? Maybe I'm going to have a bunch of the QC problems a lot of people experience with tracks here. I'm a little bit nervous, a little bit excited, so without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a closer look at this girl. And yes indeed, unexpectedly, here we are taking a look at Road Rage. And Road Rage is one of those really weird characters that like kind of came out of nowhere in the last few years for me. I'm not going to say, of course, that she didn't exist before that. I mean, she obviously did, but like, I never heard of her, and then she got like a masterpiece offering, and I was like, what? I don't even know who this is. And then I kind of looked her up and found out like bodyguard and advisor to Crosscut, and I was like, well, that doesn't really help me much because I don't really know much about that diplomat either. You know, how she's kind of cheery, but then she, you know, in car mode, she becomes a little more, I don't even know what to call it, like primal, I suppose. You know, like she I don't know, she doesn't like people being slow around the road with her. But like, it's so strange. Like, as I look back, like, she's kind of in the Legends comic. I think she's been in like the IDW comics and stuff, but like, it's an enigmatic character to me. And she's derived from the G1 tracks. So like, I find it interesting because I always sort of saw tracks as very similar to RID Sideburn, right? Sideburn's a blue car, and so is Tracks. And like, even the style of Sideburn is reminiscent of Trax's like Corvette-ish style. Same here. I feel like this is like Super Sideburn to a degree, right? And I think that I'll say the G1 version of Road Rage came out really as like an encore or like a collector's version or something, like, I don't know, in like 2000 or something like that. Like, it was so weird how it came out. And I think that we got like a BotCon version of her from the Trax Wheeljack Generations mold. And I think it was BotCon? Was it BotCon? Maybe it was BotCon. I think it was BotCon. Then we got the Masterpiece version, and now we have this version. So like, really strange character. Now I did find out that apparently they're like the first additions to the G1 cast, besides for Machine Wars, the first additions to the G1 cast once like eHobby started getting their hands on stuff and retconning certain characters and colors of certain things. Like, I think that's where Lift Ticket came from as well, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken. Truth be told, I think the red version was actually a Diaclone coloration. And again, I could be wrong there. As I'm giving you some of this history, I have to be honest. because I'm not familiar with the character, some of it is a bit spotty and I'm not 100% sure. I babbled on about her history long enough. Let's do what we always do and take a quick look at that packaging first. Pretty neat Kingdom packaging. We have Road Rage in car mode, Road Rage over here. Road Rage is a female character too, as far as I know. So it's kind of nice to see like a female bot who's not like your stereotypical female bot, if you know what I mean. Like Strongarm from Robots in Disguise didn't have that, I don't know, curvy, slender, typical female bot mode. Same with the Rust Renegades, or the Torchbearers, if you will. This is a similar thing, but to be fair, the mold is sort of slight enough that I could see how a feminine take on it could exist. Packaging, it's packaging. No collector card in mine anyway. Beauty instructions, I guess they do an alright job, but things tab in here pretty difficultly sometimes, so sometimes it's a bit trial and error. So the blue piece is exactly like Trax's white piece that goes kind of above his head or on the back of the vehicle mode. The black blaster is the exact same blaster as Trax. It pegs in the same way. There's a port on top. There is a, see if I can turn this without losing my focus. There's a peg on the bottom. That's what pegs into the vehicle mode. Speaking of Trax, here they both are together now. I looked at Trax in episode 892, not too long ago. And another big shout out to Jay Holla for hooking me up with Trax. Big shout out to Ultra Megatronus for hooking me up with Road Rage. She's a Target exclusive in the US. As far as I know, our Toys R Us is not getting her. So I don't know how else I would have got this character. I sort of resolved myself I wasn't going to get her until now. So with Trax, I said that the paint look of him was 8. I'm going to say it's 10 here. I'm just going to say it now because honestly I don't have a point of reference for Road Rage. So the colors work fine. They look good. And as a nice nod, I'm pretty sure that the flame deco here on the hood is like Trax's G1 toy offering rather than the animation all red that the Kingdom release has on the hood. So I'm kind of happy that we get the like other iteration of the flame deco that honestly has a lot of personality because of the yellows and the oranges in it. I think it has a ton of personality. I really dig it. It looks good. Both of these look good. Now, focusing more here on Road Rage, she rolls tremendously well. I like the paint on the rims or the hubcaps, whatever you want to call it. I wish this stored better, but I mean, it is what it is. And you don't need it on there if you didn't want it on there, of course. I wish that the back was painted better than what it is. That's just bare. I mean, again, I could customize it, I guess. I don't know if it's worth it. She, just like Trax, does the flying car mode. So I'm actually going to start here, of course, in vehicle. I'm going to go back to robot because we've already seen the transformation from robot to car. I'm going to say this, I feel like going back to robot is the tougher way to go. But before we go to robot, we have to come here and flip out that and flip out that. And we can now put this set of blasters, I guess, back on. Now that we have those tail fins, I guess we'll call it, out, then we come here to the side and we bring down a wing and we bring down a wing, and we have to get now, and that's the tricky part, getting the arm out like that. We get the arm out, we turn it, and we should be able to pick the whole thing up, bring this forward. I think it's supposed to be like that. And that's one side done. And then on the other side, we also have to get the arm down. She does not have, my Trax had a QC issue of a little chip. So one of the arms didn't actually stay up the way it's supposed to. Hers does seem to be fine. We bring that down. We bring that out, in by the body, and, oh, sorry. In by the body, and we bring this up, in by the body. I'm pretty sure this is the way it's supposed to be, but I personally prefer having the red up, so that's what I tend to do, and with Trax I tend to do it with the blue as well, but I mean, to each their own. So she can do the flying car mode thing just fine, and I guess it looks as good as it's ever gonna look. I don't know, I mean, it was a weird mode to begin with tracks. It's still a weird mode. Okay, let's do the rest of the transformation. We're going to bring this arm kind of up like this for now, and we're just going to sort of keep the arms out of there. We're going to pop that up for now, and I'm going to put these back down. This is when things get challenging with her, because a lot of people, myself included, sort of struggle with the whole section here because it's really tight how it tabs in on the hood, and it's kind of precarious how it tabs in on the side. So I've sort of struggled with it too. I do find that sort of bending down the sides a bit allows you to sort of release it from here. And then, if you're lucky, you can kind of come in underneath on both sides and sort of finesse this up a bit while sort of bringing the, I don't know, the legs out a bit. Is it easy to do? No, it is definitely the hardest part of doing this transformation, in my estimation. Let me get that down, and let me get that down. And I have the back going up, so now I need to get this section out from there. There, see? And you'll notice that I did it a bit at a time, and I finessed it up the whole way. Then this comes up. When this comes up, we should be able to turn it around to the back, and we should be able to now collapse the hood and kind of windshield in. Bring those arms out, and then this comes down on the back. And when we bring it down, there's also a tab in here on the white that goes into a tab section down on the, actually tab section up here on the back, I should say. If I can get it in there now. There. And that's what kind of solidifies the backpack. The arms, we come and we bring that up, and we bring that piece up, and we fold out a hand and rotate for the elbow. Again, rotate for the elbow. And we fold out a hand. It would be nice if there was a panel or something to cover that. Now we get to the legs. And a lot of people seem to struggle with the legs. And I don't know why. The legs are, I think, elegant. Honestly, I think the legs are kind of brilliant myself. A lot of people are like, it's so hard. It's not. It's two movements. One is super familiar because it's just combiner warsing the lower leg up over the thigh, and the other is just like a semicircle, basically. So with this like this, I would say take the foot and get it down underneath the body. Like get it down kind of underneath the main torso section. Then this whole side here, honestly, it just kind of begins to semicircle down. The foot just rotated down in a semicircle out here. You can see the blue hinge in there. I'm just, now with the foot down, I'm just extending it out. There's a tab in it, the tab's in. And now using this other armature on the let's see if I can show this better. On the outside here, I just like semicircle it all the way down. Close this up, make sure my tab goes into the, that was the camera lens cap, so I apologize for that. I don't know why that just fell off. But like, it's closed up. Turn her at the waist. Once you turn her at the waist, the last piece of the transformation is to collapse the body up, push the torso back in, and it should snap into place. As I solidify things, I just wanted to kind of touch on a couple of points here. One, there's a tab in the back here on the white armature that tabs into the kind of spine of the character. And down here, you collapse the whole thing right down to the waist, and there's like a couple of chunks down here that lock in behind the torso piece. So all this collapses rather nicely so that in the end it looks like this. Ba-boom and beautiful. Yes, indeed, in the end here we have the robot mode, and I'm going to say 10 for the look. In terms of the transformation, again, for tracks, I said that the transformation was a 9. I'm going to say it's a 9 here, maybe even a 9.5, because I do find that with Road Rage, things are slightly smoother than they are with tracks, just slightly. But people have said it's not a good transformation. I think it's a great transformation. The only issue I have with it at all is that tight tolerance on the hood. You have to have a little bit of finesse with that, otherwise it's a great transformation. As for the legs, the foot and the outer shin kind of, I wouldn't say semicircle, they go about 270 degrees from this seated position up over the hip, and it does it not going up the front of the leg, it goes up behind the leg basically. Well, I guess it does go up the front of the leg, it's just you've got the waist turned around. And then in terms of the rest of the leg, if you got this front panel open on the leg, it's just combiner warsing it. That's it. There's two hinges in there. One to swing the outside of the leg, the other is just a simple combiner wars hinge. Nothing that major. I don't know why people are struggling with it that much. What about the articulation on her? Because we know that there have been some QC issues with this mold. For tracks, we said that the articulation was a 9. What about here? Well, the arm goes all the way around, out to the side, the wing piece moves, bicep swivel, elbow to 90 degrees. Nothing at the wrist other than going in, so that's a slight bummer. The head can go left and right. We have a waist that moves. The backpack can sort of wiggle to and fro a bit. The, let's straighten that arm out. The leg, well, the hip skirt can go up, so the leg, let's get this. Hip skirt can go up, so the leg can go all the way forward. The leg can go all the way back, thigh swivel. We have a knee to 90 degrees. Then we get to where the QC comes in. The foot. So a lot of people say when you move the foot, this is what happens to the leg. It happens more with her than it does with tracks. But I have gotten things solidified and squeezed where it hasn't happened, because the foot actually can go down and up and sort of left and right. It's a similar construction. If you know the generation Straxus or Skullgrin, this is a similar construction to that. So if you didn't like those feet and ankles, you're probably not going to like these. I do. I like it. I think it works just fine. I wish we had, oh, and we have a waist if I didn't say. Honestly, and I find she stands quite well. Honestly, yeah, I still think it's a 9. I think that this is a great mold. I understand that there have been QC issues, and if you encounter that, that's going to ruin this mold for you. I understand the concerns about clear plastic. I get it, but it does allow some flex for some of the design here, so maybe that's a trade-off. Like I said with Trax, in my experience, this is a good mold. Overall, Trax was at 8.75. Overall, she's about an 8.75, maybe 8.85. But if you have encountered any of the QC at all, then I totally understand why this mold won't be for you. We have 2 versions of it. I think for me, that's enough. I don't need a third. Whoa, Nelly, here we are, and here she is in her beautiful vehicle mode. So I'm trying to kind of get used to transforming her, or this mold I should say, back and forth a bit, because there is some tightness, there's no doubt about it. Like I said, going from robot to vehicle, I think is the easier way to go, because you snap stuff in. The problem is when you snap certain things in, going back from vehicle to robot can be a little hairy, especially with this hood piece, because it's tight. It's tight, man. It's tight. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty tight. I like the transformation in both directions. I like this. I like the silver on the wheels. I like the red paint. It looks beautiful. The red plastic with the red paint is a pretty good match. I like that the hood flame deco is more like the Trax G1 toy version rather than his animation version, so it's nice that we still get that somehow via this character. I like her head sculpt. The kind of intermix of the white, red, and blue I think works well. I might not know much about the character, but I do dig the mold, I do dig the look. And that's about all I could say. Let me know what you think about Road Rage. I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring. Or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube to become a channel member. Don't forget to also hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us, and that somehow, some way, each and every single day, man, you right there, you do make a difference. You really do. and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or right here inside the videos.